They humiliated their daughters every day, but one day, they were shocked to discover who those children had become. Aminata walked through the small village carrying a basket of corn on her head. The sun was beating down on his skin, but nothing hurt as much as the whispered comments around him. 5 daughters and no sons? What a shame, said a neighbor, with a look of pity mixed with scorn. At home, things were no better. The mother-in-law, Mama Kemi, occupied the center of the room, stirring broth on the fire. As soon as Aminata entered, the woman began. Why are you still here? Kwame needs a son, not a house full of girls who are just expenses. Zawadi, the sister-in-law, laughed as she braided her hair. You should be grateful that you still have a roof over your head. Someone else in your place would have already been sent away. Aminata swallowed her tears and replied firmly, My daughters are my blessing. No matter what they say, I am enough. Zawadi didn't hold back. Enough? Kwame barely stops home. It's clear he thinks differently. That night, Aminata sat with her daughters around the fire. As the little ones laughed and played, she whispered a silent prayer, asking for strength. Mommy, why don't Grandma and Zawadi like us? Asked Zara, the eldest daughter. They don't understand your value, my love, replied Aminata with a tired smile. But one day, you will show the world who you really are. Even with a heavy heart, Aminata promised herself that she would never let the village's contempt define her destiny or that of her daughters. The nights in the village were silent, except for the distant sound of drums and celebration. But that night, something dark hung in the air. Under the moonlight, Zawadi walked to a secluded clearing. She carried herbs and a small container of ashes. She thinks she's strong, muttered Zawadi, throwing the herbs into the fire that crackled in front of her. But there is no place for someone like Aminata in this family. As the fire gained strength, Zawadi raised her hands and whispered words she believed had power. May Kwame never return to her or those girls. May misfortune be his only company. In Aminata's house, things seemed more difficult every day. What little she managed to gather didn't last. The walls of the house began to give way, and Kwame, having been in the city for a long time, didn't send any news. Some said he had remarried. Zara, her eldest daughter, noticed her mother's sadness. Mommy, why isn't Daddy coming back? Did we do something wrong? Aminata tried to hold back her tears. No, my dear, your father made choices, but we will make ours, and ours will be full of strength and courage. Despite the challenges, Aminata refused to give in to the pain. At night, while the village slept, she prayed in silence. If there is a curse, let it be broken. My daughters were not born to suffer. Even under the shadows of envy and abandonment, Aminata moved forward, determined to transform her pain into strength. Aminata watched the village market with attentive eyes. Her calloused hands held a basket full of bracelets and fabrics that she had spent nights making. It was all she had. 2 for a coin, she called with hope in her voice, while passers-by ignored her. At first, sales were difficult. Many laughed at his business attempt. Aminata, selling things? Isn't it better to accept your luck and stop trying? Teased a woman from the village. Aminata didn't respond, just continued working. Over time, some people began to notice the quality of what she did. These bracelets are beautiful, commented a market visitor. I want to take 3. The coins started to come in little by little. With the profits, she bought better materials and invested in her daughter's education. Mommy, I learned to read today, said Aisha, running to show what she had learned. I knew you could, my daughter, replied Aminata, hugging her with pride. The years passed and the business grew. Zur got a job as an assistant at a clinic in the city, and Aisha received a scholarship. Mommy, I got a letter. They accepted me to study abroad, announced Aisha with a sparkle in her eyes. God is good, whispered Aminata, moved. The mother's efforts and her daughter's talent began to transform their lives. What was once pain and abandonment now became hope and prosperity. The sound of a powerful engine echoed through the village, attracting curious looks. It was rare to see such a luxurious car there. When he parked at the square, Aminata got out of the back seat, dressed in an elegant outfit, accompanied by her daughters. The glow on everyone's faces was unmistakable. The residents murmured, "Is that Emanata? The one everyone said was worthless?" "Yes, and look how it is now." Zawadi, watching from afar, felt the weight of shame. She approached hesitantly. "Emanata, you did it. Maybe you can teach me how." Emanata interrupted, her tone calm but firm. "What I learned is that no one should be judged by what people say about them. My value was never in how you saw me, but in what I knew I could achieve." Zara, now a renowned surgeon, placed her hand on her mother's shoulder. "Everything we are, we owe her." Emanata taught us that love and resilience overcome any obstacle. Aisha, who was studying economics abroad, added, "And now it's our turn to take care of her, as she took care of us." Emanata smiled as she looked at her daughters with pride. The modern house they built together was proof that a woman's strength can overcome any adversity. That day, not only Emanata, but all the women in the village learned that the value of a person is not in labels or prejudices, but in the courage to transform their story. If you enjoyed this video, please help us grow by subscribing to this humble channel. And if you'd like to watch more videos like this, we prepared the next video especially for you. Click here to watch.